Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I have another really super quick card for you to make, and we're going again with the theme of die cut sentiments, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. It is really quick and easy to make. The hardest part is cutting out the sentiment, but I'll show you how to do that anyway. So the stamp set that I'm using today is the Holly Jolly Greetings, and it doesn't just come with this beautiful big snowflake. You've got some really nice big sentiments. You've also got some really tiny sort of sayings, and then you've got a background stamp and some stars, shooting stars if you want those as well. So a really fab little selection to have. And we'll be using it in conjunction with the Christmas Greetings Thinlits dies, which is the blue sentiment that you can see there. Okay, so to start, you want to make an A6 card base. So you want to trim a piece of thicker Whisper White cardstock to 21 centimeters by 14.8 centimeters. And then make sure that the ridge is going to be inside the card, so it can't be seen once you put a card insert in there, and just burnish that fold with your bone folder and pop that to one side. Now the main section that you're going to be using is a Whisper White piece of cardstock, just regular Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 14.4 centimeters by 10.1 centimeters, and this is going to make a nice mat. So you're matting is layering, so we're actually matting straight onto white here with a very narrow border, and that's what's going to give it a bit of lift. So the first thing to do is your rubber stamping, and for me I found it easier to start with the larger sentiment, which I haven't mounted, which was very silly of me, so I just need to grab my block. Tumble tumble, did you hear that? That was all my acrylic blocks going for a burton. Now they do come in wood mount as well as clear mount. This is a clear mount one here. I just use the clear mount ones in general because they take up less space, but for stamps that I think I'm going to use an awful lot, I do tend to buy those in wood mount. Right, so we're going to start with the actual sentiment in the middle, which is using Mint Macaron, one of the in colours for this year and next year, and it's just a delightful greenish blue. It's not turquoise, you can't say it's turquoise, but it's just a beautiful colour, and that you just want to go roughly in the centre. You don't need to be too specific about it. Okay, so straight down and up, and there's your snowflake. And then the next bit is again using the Mint Macaron, and this time you're going to be using the stars. Now it's rather cold in my workshop, I haven't put the heater on. I've just got a colour gas heater out here, so the stamps don't stick particularly well. So if you have a similar problem, just put them back on the block, give them a press just for about 10 seconds. That gives a bit of warmth through and a bit of pressure, and they stay on. Now because this is small tiny little things, I'm very gently stamping it with the ink pad face up, whereas I know I usually do it the other way. And you're going to stamp 2 or 3 times before you re-ink, so that you get differences in tones. And you can cover as much or as little of this piece of card. I'm just going to do a little bit more here. You can see it just looks like little snowdrops as it gets lighter. There you go, that's all you need, and that is everything with your Mint Macaron. Next you're going to stamp the sentiments. We're using Wishing You, and then it will be I think On Earth, because we're having peace in the middle. So I'm using soft suede, so again I go back to putting my stamp so the rubber faces upwards, and that's one of the reasons why. Can you see I've just managed to get ink? I didn't ink quite parallel, now I've got ink on the stamp. Now if I stamp with that, that will actually come out. So all you do is you get a little bit of kitchen towel or a baby wipe. If you use a baby wipe, do make sure you clean your stamp with Stampin' Mist straight after. And we will start by popping the Wishing You up here. And the placement of this is entirely up to you. And then the On Earth, I'm going to pop. Make sure you get your stamp the right way round. I'm going to stamp that somewhere there. There you go. And that's all the stamping done. All that's left now is to do the die, so this piece. And what you will see if I go 3-dimensional, if I flip this round, you can see that this is 3-dimensional here. And this is the Christmas Greetings dies Thinlits pack. And you get 3 sentiments in here. So you get Peace, and that's the one we're using. There's also Jolly and Merry. There you go, 3 lovely sentiments. So I'll pop those straight back in here because I'm forever losing them if I don't put them away straight away. And if you're ever worried you've lost them, it will tell you how many are in the packet on the back here. So it says 3, and it tells you the dimensions of them as well. And you can purchase these through my online store. Right, so all we're going to do now is cut out the sentiment, die cut the sentiment. What you need for that is a Big Shot or equivalent die cutting machine. I just prefer Big Shot, I've always had them. And you need to make a sandwich, not a bread one though, but a sandwich nevertheless. Now for the best result with any sort of thinlit or framelit die, you're best with a magnetic platform. If you don't have one, when you order your Big Shot, it will come with a multi-purpose platform, and you just want to have it on tab 2, so no tabs are open basically. And use a post-it note just to hold the cardstock in place, and possibly the die in place so it doesn't move around. But I'm showing you with a magnetic platform. So you have your magnetic platform, then you have an acrylic cutting plate, then you put your cardstock, and then on top of that you will put your piece of your die, rather the piece die, and these are the blades here. So you need to make sure that those tiny little blades are face down. Now I place them sparingly on my cardstock because I like to be able to get the most out of my cardstock. I don't like waste. Then your next plate goes down on top. Hold that all together so it doesn't move. I'm going to put you on pause for a moment and I'll be back once I've die cut the sentiment. Okay, I'm back having done the die cutting. So just remove your top acrylic plate, and if you just pop your little die, you should find that you're left with a void. Just pop that to one side, and then you can put your cutting plates and your magnetic platform to one side as well. Now to get this little baby out, you can give it a really good sort of wrap against a table or something, but I find the easiest way, where these little holes are, just use a paper piercing tool and give a few of them a little press, same at the other end. And I personally find that it then comes out without too many problems. Just be gentle, go a little bit at a time, and there you go. If you have any, I haven't this time, yes I have, look, there's a little piece of paper cardstock stuck in there, so just turn it over, pop it with your piercing tool and it will pop out. Right, so there's your piece, and you can see here that they're infilled where you've got the P and what would that one, P, E. So again, you just give it a little pop with your paper piercing tool and it should just pop straight out. There are all sorts of ways of doing it, but it's just one of those things that with practice you get there in the end. Right, so we're going to stick this on over the top of your snowflake, and to do that you really need the fine glue pen. Now this comes with a female connector, so it's a pin with a hole down the shaft, and then this is the male pin, which is just a pin that will then slot in there. Now it is quite fragile, so you do need to be gentle with it, and I'll show you how to close it up as well. So just very gently hold your die cut, give a very gentle squeeze on the glued pen, and just gently work your way around, and you only need the tiniest little bit of glue on each of these. You can see how fine it is, there's no bleed over to the surrounding areas, it's just very pinpointed and very simple to use. There you go. The main thing is you do need to get the lid on fairly quickly, not immediately but fairly quickly, and then this just goes down however you feel. Give it a good press so it sticks down onto the cardstock, and then whilst that has a little dry, I'll show you how to put the glue pen back together again. So if you have the male piece, so the pin, in your dominant hand, and the female part, have the shaft of that against your finger, your forefinger, and then you can use that as your guide and just slot it over the top and then just close it up. And you do want to do that reasonably quickly so you don't get glue setting in the nipple. Right, all that's left now is to mat this onto your card base, and because this is fairly flat, this is raised, I know, I'm going to use some Stampin dimensionals to do that, and I'm going to use the bits that get left. So these are all the edge bits that go around the edge of your Stampin dimensionals, so that's how they come as a sheet, and I've just used up them all, so all I do is I go along and I snip and I use those. So I just pop them along. Can't waste, can you? One there, one there, one there, and that one will go there. Take the backing off, and because the Stampin dimensionals are thicker than most sticky fixers and they stick really lovely, and they're quite deep, I would say they're 2 to 3 millimeters deep, you only need, you know, like 4 dimensionals to stick an A6 card down, so you don't need to go mad on them, so they're quite resourceful. Pop that down on top, and there is today's card. Really quick and simple. As always, there will be a coordinating blog post that will include the video in it, but obviously you can view the video via my YouTube channel as well. Both my blog and YouTube channel have details on all my social media and also my online store, so if you want to place an order you can. If you have any questions or feedback or any wishes for what you would like to see in future videos, then by all means leave a message at the bottom beneath my video, or contact me via Facebook or whatever social media you prefer. Alright, and until tomorrow, I'll see you later. So ta-ta for now.